Get started. Good evening. Welcome to our November monthly Supervisors meeting. This time I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll stand and pledge the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time we'll have the roll call.
Jerry Long.
Here.
Arthur Zerbe.
Here.
David Leinbach.
Here.
Michael Reiner.
Here.
Elizabeth McGovern.
Here.
Carol Martin.
Okay, this time we have our public comment session, which will give you an opportunity to share anything you want to discuss that might be on the agenda before we take action. I limit you to 4 minutes so that everyone might get a chance to speak. So, does anyone want to speak? If you do, just state your name and we'll give you 4 minutes.
Is this number 4 or number 3?
This is number 3.
Second.
Yeah, no, the guests are next. Okay. No one wants to speak, so we'll move on to 4. We have guests tonight, although in the list we have Maple Grove first.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah,
My error.
no problem. So at this time, you have the floor.
Hey, I am Karen Crater. I'm a registered landscape architect with John Hopper Surveying, representing the Maple Grove Park Development Corporation Beachy Annexation Subdivision. We have a plan to look at as speak. Guess you have one. The property is 72 acres owned by Maple Grove Development Corporation. They are subdividing off 23 acres on the south side of the property, which straddles the Brecknock, Berks, and Lancaster line, to be annexed to the Beachy property, which is fronts on Yellow Hill Road. It's in your forest conservation zone. So before the board tonight, we're trying to coordinate between two counties, two communities. We have received conditional approval from Berks County, Brecknock Township, based upon your county and township also approve it, and your PC had done the same, vice versa, reverse of the counties.
That's correct, and Jerry, you were at the meeting, obviously. The recommendation from the Planning Commission was conditional final plan approval with the compliance of the October 17th review letter, and also, again, as Karen mentioned, the Brecknock Township, Berks County approval as part of that.
And to summarize it briefly, Mike, the majority of this is in Berks County.
The majority, yes. There's no development proposed. The 23 acres that Karen was alluding to is actually completely bisected by the county line. That piece is being annexed and joined to an existing parcel within Brecknock, Lancaster. And they have frontage on Yellow Hill Road. That's also a vacant parcel. There's no improvements on it as current. They could come in at some point potentially down the road, but there's nothing proposed with this plan at this time.
And do you remember what comments, can you summarize the comments you would have had in that October 17th?
Yeah, my comments were more administrative, drafting type comments, had to doing with the location map. There was an additional plan note that had to go on the plan, basically for the Beachies, acknowledging that they are in consent to what is being proposed on the plan, and that they agree that that lot will be adjoined to their property. The other comments were just notations and drafting issues.
Do any of you have any questions concerning this? They're both vacant properties, and the owner owns both of them. It's just a matter of him, the owner, deciding to combine the two of them. Okay, well, I guess the action tonight would be for us to provide conditional final plan approval based upon they address the comments from Technicon and also any comments that Berks County would have had.
Correct.
And I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we had a motion, it was second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Okay, the second guest on our list is Mark Jones in regards to B&B Transportation.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun earlier. I saw my name and just jumped right through, so I apologize. Mark Jones here from Hardtech Engineering Consulting. I'm representing Mr. James Martin, who is the owner of the property and the business name of B&B Transportation. The little over 9-acre property is located off of Reading Road on the east side at the intersection of Trossel Lane. Trossel Lane is a private access drive, or access alley, if you will, that accesses his property and a few properties to the east of him. He is proposing a small truck shop with associated areas for parking, stormwater management facilities, turnaround. In addition, per request of the Planning Commission, we are also providing a little widening along Trossel Lane to allow for two-way passage of vehicles that was requested of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission did recommend this for approval. In addition, on completing the last few comments tendered by Mr. Reiner, which we are receiving on October 30th, 2019, letter that are mainly the articulation of the waiver requests that were approved by the Planning Commission and other minor comments. I would be happy to answer any questions the board may have on the project.
Okay, Mike, you want to summarize this?
Yeah, sure. As Mark alluded to, the October 30th letter outlines the waivers that were recommended for approval from the Planning Commission. I'll summarize those just briefly here. The first one was to allow the driveway to exceed the maximum width requirement and partial paving of the driveway around the proposed structure. Item 2 had to do with a waiver request for stormwater related to the maximum loading ratio for an infiltration facility, which I was actually okay with as well. Item 3 was the recommendation that Mark mentioned about the widening of Trossel Lane to allow for two-way traffic and the width of 20 feet from Reading Road to the point where the new driveway will be on the eastern side. That gets two-way traffic past the proposed building in the event that there's a truck or any kind of other traffic using the road at the same time. Item 4 is road widening of Reading Road. Item 5 is to have a preliminary/final plan approval. 6 was requirement from a full traffic study. 7 was for trail not being proposed or provided in the plan. 8 would be for landscaping in and around the proposed building. And then 9 would be a recommendation of conditional final plan approval based on compliance with the October 21st review letter. And in that review letter, there were a few stormwater comments, one of which Lancaster County Conservation District approval would be needed for the plan, providing some plan notes and things of that sort, or they were fairly minor in nature.
Mike, are you talking Lancaster County Planning Commission? Oh yeah, Lancaster County Planning Commission. That's right.
I think the applicant said there was going to be a building, what was it, 60 by 80 approximately?
60 by 88.
60 by 88. We asked him about outdoor storage. There was going to be no outdoor storage. There was not going to be any outdoor dumpsters that need to be screened, so it's pretty much a shell and park the truck inside, service truck. And like Mike had indicated, the Planning Commission did desire to see the driveway from the proposed driveway into the shop out to Route 625 a minimal of 20 foot.
Yeah, I gave Mike a revised drawing today that shows that, and we show, so final plans and get signatures, and everything, will show that on the plan. The existing driveway that accesses on across the lane from Reading Road to about where his existing entrances in his house is wired 20 feet now, so we show it only whatever needs to be wired.
And the applicant has not submitted an application to Department of Transportation yet.
They will be now.
Okay. So that, there may be some ramifications, and they may have to do some stuff out there.
That's right, that was one of the comments in the review letter, that they would still have to meet as part of the conditional approval.
Now, beyond the proposed driveway into the shop, is going to be left as it is for the, you mentioned there's three residents up there? that go-
I think 3.
Okay. And that was not a concern to the planning commission. Any questions from the board? I think you're attempting to keep your disturbance within a certain,
Under an acre.
under an acre.
Yeah, we don't want to go to a chapter
So,
102 permit,
yeah,
so
so
we keep everything low.
it's not a large disturbance here. It's basically, say, they're keeping it within the 1 acre requirement. Do you have any other questions about it? Okay, we need a motion to approve the waivers as recommended by the planning commission. The waivers as listed 93.14B2, 95-18D2, 98-19, 98-37, 98-43G, and 98-51. And I believe that includes all of them. Yeah.
I think you got them all. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the number 1 cherry on the October 30th letter, 58-2D4.
At 58
Yeah, 2D4. That's for the proposed driveway and the paving around the building.
Okay, is there a motion to approve them waivers?
I make a motion that we approve the waivers that were presented from the planning commission.
We have a motion to approve the waivers, and it was second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now, also, the planning commission recommended that we grant preliminary final plan approval, provided the applicant complies with all the comments from the engineers, Township Engineers Review Letter, October 21, and also any of the county comments.
That motion is made.
Okay, we have the motion to grant preliminary final plan approval conditionally, and is there a second? The motion is made and second. Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, you have the minutes from last month, and I don't think, Arthur, you were with us last month, so,
No.
Dave, do you have a chance to review the minutes, and is there any additions or
I make a
corrections?
motion that we accept the presented.
And I'll second that motion. We had a motion to approve the minutes as they're presented, and it was second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, you have bills to be paid for the month of November. Are there any questions on any of the bills? Okay, you have the totals. General fund, $62,076.83. The light fund, $4,524.35. And the state fund, $23,871.20 for a total. For November invoices, $90,472.38.
Jerry, there was one taken off the state
Oh, that's
fund.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
the new total. The state fund total is $23,458.25.
Okay, I changed that total. Invoices for November is a total of $90,059.43. Okay, we have a motion to approve those.
I make the motion to approve the bill that you presented.
Okay, we had the motion. Is there a second? No second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we have your reports. We have the roadmaster's report. Does the board have any questions or comments on the work that was performed in October and the plans for November?
One comment. Esmond Shake's greenhouse. You just cut the weeds across the street.
Yes.
That's important to me.
Yeah.
What we had to do to rip that out of there, that was mines and everything, forced all the traffic in one lane. Continue it, thank you.
Okay, last month, we had estimates on a 39,000-pound gross vehicle weight dump truck, plow truck, and we had estimates for a pickup truck with a service body. And we deferred this because you were not with us last month, Art, and we did value your input on that. So at this time, the pickup truck, I guess your service truck gave out, and you've been, what, did you?
The park truck gave out. It's
Okay.
just been nickel and diming us, constant repairs, constantly breaking it down. And the thing honestly is unsafe to drive anymore. And so my plan was to give the park guys our current truck with a service body and the road crew get a new truck with a service body.
Do you know what the mileage is on that truck?
107,000 roughly.
And what year is that truck?
And it's a 2005.
Your recommendation is to go with a Ford truck, and that's a 350, 450?
That's a 350.
350.
Yes.
And then a Reading body, is that aluminum body or steel body?
That's steel.
Steel body.
Aluminum was much more. I mean, you can add probably like $8,000 or $10,000 onto that price.
What's your experience with steel versus aluminum bodies?
Not too much other than, I know the aluminum bends easy. You know, they don't look pretty after a while.
Well, I'm just thinking a lot of contractors out there, they all go with aluminum bodies because they can, I guess they can haul more then, you know, they have more hauling
But I don't know
capacity.
if that's the issue here.
That's not really an issue. I mean, you know, the aluminum to me, it's corrosive resistant. You know, it won't corrode as easy. And this body now, you know, and we have one since 05, so it's 14 years. Am I doing that right? 14 years old. And I mean, the boxes are starting to rust through and stuff. I mean, there is going to be another 10 years, and either have to get rid of it or do some body work to it. You know, the aluminum body would last a lot longer, but it's a lot more expensive too. So that's.
Had you got a quote on aluminum?
I did not. I figured that would be turned down pretty quickly, so I never even looked into it.
I know how you can save a lot of money.
Oh.
I have a red Dodge on. It still runs.
I think he's trying to upgrade. I just, you know, you see contractor trucks on the road, and there's very few steel anymore because the aluminum just,
Yeah, and I don't, I mean, I think aluminum would last longer, and, you know, be lighter. As far as, you know, that in the bed, I don't think we have to worry, we don't drop stuff, put that heavier stuff in the truck or anything, but.
now the body wouldn't have as long of a lead time as the truck, would it? Although.
No, they're both about the same. So, well, yeah, basically, from what I was told, from the guy who gave me the estimates, it's, so I would order the truck, try to receive the truck, we're looking at, what did I say,
22 to
22
28
to 28 weeks. So we're already looking at April, May right now.
That for the pickup?
That's for the pickup, yeah.
What's your thoughts on this body being steel versus aluminum?
Talked to one of the excavators, they said they only run steel, and most of the cost difference, that they never wear them out.
Okay. Well, I think you're gonna have to take action on the service truck, because if you gave it to the park, give it to the park, you won't have anything. So is the consensus of the board to go ahead and at least purchase the new pickup truck with the reading body? Yes?
Seems like we need one.
Yeah, okay. The plow truck, your recommendation is going with the Freightliner and the EM Kurtz for a total cost of $143,764. Any discussion on that?
That's stainless steel. Stainless steel bed.
Now, you have one white truck, are we gonna switch to white? Is that-
No, this one would get ordered in. The reason we have a white truck is that was a demo truck, it was already made,
Yeah.
we didn't have a choice. But if we order one, we'll have a choice, and I'm gonna get it in red like the rest of the
But
fleet.
you'll pay more for red.
I don't think it's really that much.
What's your thought on street color white or red?
Well, I'll tell you, I went with me. I liked having different colored trucks, because I'd get a phone call. And they'd say, a truck just went past here, and they pushed the snow in over the porch, and it hit the house, it hit the windows on the second floor.
Yeah.
I said, well, what color truck was it? And they said they'd say the color. Well, guess who drove that truck? And I'd tell them people, I'll make sure they'll slow down the next time. That was the easiest way to figure out which driver did what, real fast.
Well, I think it'd be nice to have all the same color.
Yeah, but it's not necessary. It's up, it's up to him. Him and yours are the supervisor, he's the roadmaster.
Why would red cost more though?
Well, generally, white is your fleet color, and they pump them out and they paint them white just like the demo truck and stuff. Anyone that has fleets, typically,
Yeah, that's the fact, it costs more for red.
well, typically your white is your base color.
Andy, his quote actually from Freightliner has red. His quote has it being red.
Yeah, but would it be less if it was white?
I don't think they break it down.
So the options are red or white, that you're limited to red or white.
Well, not necessarily, you can go hot pink if you want.
No, that's what we're. I think they should be one of two colors. If you're not gonna stick to one color, then let's stick with just two colors, get them red or white.
I think I'd be in favor of having the same color anyway, more than, I can hear, understand North's point too, but
We had white,
Yellow, green, and you had it.
white, red, yellow, and green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my thoughts, if we had one white, would we go to white?
That'll be around the longest, the white one.
Yeah, it would be around the longest. I don't know. White shows the dirt faster. That's the only thing.
Well, actually, that's been disputed too.
Black shows faster than white.
Well, black, yeah. Black,
Yeah.
yeah.
Solid,
Yeah.
your red will probably show it really depends what kind of dirt it is. The white dust will show quicker on the dark trucks than on
Yeah.
a white truck.
I really don't care what color I just figured red because that's what, most of the fleet is. And the pickup's red. What do we change that?
I would stick with red. I mean, they always were, since I was a kid, the township trucks. I remember.
Red, green, yellow, and Okay, it's either white or red. You get them either white or red.
Okay.
If white is cheaper,
I can check into it if it saves us some.
Yeah. okay. Do we need a motion to?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we grant approval to the roadmaster to purchase the Freightliner with the EM Kurtz bodies.
Hoods.
Goods. And the service truck, the Dodge, or the Ford with the Reading body. And I'll make that as a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion was made and second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Now, the truck repairs. Do you have anything you want to add to the, your,
I don't, did you want to go over this good road pipe or?
well, I think we're gonna have to discuss that next year. I think we budgeted for it.
I put it on, yeah, okay. No, I don't think so.
It needs fixed, needs new tires. I guess that's what you do.
So, and, yeah, it's, well, I mean, I've done, something today, we temporarily patched it, my foot went through the floor in the 03550, so patched that today. Hopefully, it'll be okay for inspection in the spring.
Need a lighter foot?
Yeah, well, I put an aluminum floor in, so that should work good and hold sign.
Okay, anything else for the roadmaster?
I put the sign.
Okay, the township engineers report?
Yes, thank you. You have a copy of my report of November 8th. I have several items tonight, starting on page 4. Item 1 is just the memorandum of understanding for the Maple Grove Park Beachy lot add-on that we just discussed this evening. We've already taken action on number 2, so we can skip that one. Item 3 is Maple Ridge subdivision. Is a financial security release in the amount of $5,984.99. Item number 4 is the Richard and Dorcas Martin Stormwater Project release recommendation letter in the amount of $2,500. Item 5 is the Jeffrey and Esther Snyder Stormwater Project financial security recommendation in the amount of $4,400. Item 6 is the CMG Property Management Stormwater Project. We received a stormwater management agreement, memorandum of understanding, and issued a financial security recommendation in the amount of $1,815. Item 7 is the Summit Tower Stormwater Project, financial security release in the amount of $3,352.10. Item 8 is the Brecknock Builders Land Development, financial security release in the amount of $5,034.30. Item 9, Harvey Hollingshead Stormwater Project, financial security recommendation in the amount of $20,186.63. Number 10 should be the 481 Staver Road Lot Add-on Plan. That's a memorandum of understanding for action by the board. 11 is the Stephen Albertson Stormwater Project, also a memorandum of understanding for action by the board. And I'll add item 12, which is the Robert Landis Stormwater Project. We received their stormwater management agreement yesterday.
Okay, you have 12 items, but number 2 is taken care of, so it'll be
Correct.
one, be all, be 12 items minus number 2.
Correct.
So you have 11 items you have recommended for action. Does the board have any questions on any of those? If not, is there a recommendation to grant, take the action as recommended by the township engineer?
Make a motion that we take the action on these as the township engineers presented.
Okay, motion was made to accept the recommendation of the township engineer. It was second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, you have the zoning officer's report. Do you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay. See the amendment to Hawk Valley, but is that part of the zoning?
Thunder Lizard.
Okay.
It's right there, yeah, we got it.
Okay, so there's nothing from the SEO, and do we have anything from the solicitor?
Just the amendment to the villages at Hawk Valley Improvements Agreement. Their time is up to complete the improvements, so they need an extension of time to complete the improvements under the agreement. So we worked with Mike on this and the roadmaster to make sure that work was done. And it's my understanding that they did some of the work on Broadwood.
Yeah,
Lane.
Broadwood,
Okay.
yep, they-
I don't know if you want to explain.
Yeah,
that,
they
and
had-
I'll go.
They were some, pipe crossings down on Broadwing that they had done. One was a 15-inch storm pipe, and then around one manhole. And I don't know if the ditches weren't backhoed correctly, but I had requested them that they be repaired correctly because the plows were starting to, they had settled so much, the plows were catching the asphalt. And they were out and they fixed the patches to my pleasing, and everything looks good again. So the only spot they didn't do was a manhole that's right at the end of the new street, which they can get when they top the new street there.
So what we had suggested in our letter was that, you have to get the work done by December 1st, or the supervisors will not approve the amendment to this agreement. We were trying to put pressure on them, and they did get the work done. So we don't have a problem, and I don't think Mike has a problem with this amendment. We are adding the 10% increase in the financial security as required by the municipality's planning code, and they seem to not have a problem with that. I don't know if you received any signed agreement from them.
Have not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I would just conditionally approve it based on receiving a signed original from them first, but it's my understanding that they intend to do it.
Now, is this relative to, they're asking to extend the completion date? Does this have to do with working on Crest Drive?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's it.
There's actually two components to it. One is actually the improvements on Crestview. I had talked to Andy, and we both agreed that we didn't want them starting before the winter season came in at this point. We also didn't want them to start early in spring. We were kind of trying to lead them toward the summer months when the school was out of session, so if that needed to be detoured, It wouldn't negatively impact the school buses as much doing it over the summer months. So that was one consideration in that. And then there's also the final timeline for the remainder of the improvements in Phase 1, of which they just finished paving binder today. So they're moving forward in that direction, but they'll need some additional time in order to get the remaining improvements in for that phase.
And this will give them until February of 2021.
Correct.
Correct.
Right.
But hopefully all that work will be done before winter.
We would hope so, yeah. And it's in their interest to do that. The date is actually corresponds with the county's approval of that plan. And that's why that date was used, because they have vested rights of approval with the county with that same date. And that's why we used the same date that, for that reasoning.
So Art, this is your work on Crestview Drive being pushed back until next year.
We lead.
Yeah,
No, it was promised.
I know, but we're proposing granting them an extension. It will get done.
Oh. But it's not a very safe situation for the trucks at all.
Is there any other concerns or comments into agreeing to this amendment and extension of time? I don't think we have a lot of choice now. I mean, it's so late in the year that, and I agree with Mike, it'd be better if it's done in the summer instead of in winter. That's why I asked about the date of February 16th. Why don't we make it October 1st?
Yeah, I think, Jerry, I have to go back through here. I thought we had actually a September, yeah, the actual Crestview date is September 19th. The date of the final, of all the improvements is the February
That's right,
date.
yeah.
So we did put a September 19th, 2020 deadline for the Crestview improvements,
Okay.
which gets them through in,
That's in the
it's
form,
early
whereas-
school.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Season.
So there you have it, Art.
You start earlier.
Crestview Drive should be done by September 19th.
Yeah, we didn't want them to get into winter either, so.
One thing about Hawk Valley, which is not part of this. Should they ever rezone and go to develop the piece of land in front of the elementary school, that'd be half that field. There's a point in Hawk Valley where the road comes right over to that property line. of that
You're
development.
talking in where the condominiums are? Yeah, okay.
The Hawk Valley actually put electrical service boxes and stuff on Good's side. It would really be a plus if you're supervisors to remember, it will be so easy to connect the road across there to get them people out of all that Hawk Valley development. And then they don't have to come to Lashtown Road and Crestview and all of that. They'll have a better road out of there. So it's just something to think about down the road should you be supervisor in the future, which could be years, maybe it won't happen either. So,
Good point. Okay, is there a motion to execute the amendment to time extension?
make a motion that we accept this First Amendment to the land development agreement with Hawk Valley on the time extension of the road improvements.
I'll second it.
Okay, the motion was made in second. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. Okay, moving on to the Park and Recreation update. Steps at the Eagle's Nest. You have a quotation to replace the wooden steps with concrete steps. And the Park and Rec had reviewed this, and they recommend that we replace them with wooden steps with concrete. I noticed there was no option to stamp it to make it look like wood, but that would have been interesting to see. They have this, they
Yeah.
stamp the concrete that it looks like planks.
Yeah, my dad just got a patio down like
Okay.
that. It's, I tell you what, it's amazing how sharp it looks and how
Yeah.
close to wood it
Yeah.
looks. Gary had gotten these estimates. I'm sure he didn't ask because he was just, he just wants concrete steps and he's looking to, try and something quality but cheap as he can get it. I don't know that he would be opposed to that. I had said something to him, wondering if it'd be wise to put lights in the steps, that they would light up at night. If you're gonna do concrete, you'll never get in there, and he kind of was like, no, because it'd be extra, but, and yeah, so would he be opposed to stamp? I don't think so, as long as they're concrete. I don't know what kind of costs you'd be looking at. I know my dad's patio was quite pricey for the stamps.
$17 a foot or $3 a foot in a blackboard.
I mean, I'm sure we could request that he get an estimate for stamp, or that maybe the board discuss if they would like stamp.
Well, the option is regular concrete, it turns white, plain, economical, cheap, but it's not aesthetic.
What's that of an area or how many stairs?
What was the quote here? I mean, it's 15 steps. Yeah, 15 steps, and they're wide steps. Tread length of 2.5 feet and a total of 15 steps. So it's over 30 foot. Anybody know what kind of maintenance is with? I don't know what, do you have to do anything to that same concrete every so many years?
Well, you don't have to, but
But to keep it nice, you should seal it.
Just seal it.
you should probably seal it. I mean, honestly, if you want to maintain any type of concrete.
And don't put salt on.
Yeah. Well, we don't put salt.
What do you
in there,
think,
so-
Art? You spent a lot of work out there making that park look nice with stone work and.
I built the steps,
Yeah.
and I had to make them wide to make it all work.
Yeah.
Or how would you go with just, you wouldn't work.
Yeah, you want wide enough for two-way traffic.
I can see at the time, we tried to save money where we could, we put it into some labor, but it's gonna last longer with concrete, no doubt about it, years.
I'm not sure if I stamped it look all that good, because when you're coming up, you're gonna see little risers. That's just plain concrete, as you stamp.
Well, no, well, they color that, too, so they could probably,
I don't know why you really wanna go with lights, there's not gonna be,
I just was thinking, if for some reason we ever want lights, now would be the time to put them in if we're gonna do concrete steps, because you never get another chance.
the only way you consider lights is what you're going to do in the area around it.
well, you could do solar pedestal lights if you
Yeah.
wanted to, I don't, your number seems awful high for, I could see maybe possibly double, but because you put the coloring in the concrete,
Check that, get some prices.
well,
I have a friend that does stamp concrete,
Yeah.
that's what he charges me, maybe he's ripping me off.
Well, you won't touch
Yeah,
that.
that's really good.
You won't,
That's on the flat floor, I don't know, step, there's probably.
well, you won't do steps for $4 a square foot.
No, you're
That's
right.
probably
Or
eight
paint
or
concrete.
10, yeah. Plain. I don't know, I'd like to see you get a quote on it. Because I did stamped concrete, and Yellow Hill Concrete just gave me the stamps.
Well,
And all you gotta do is stick them in. And if I was retired like Art is, I'd come out and stamp them for you.
I got a whole workforce, what do you mean?
You should be retired.
One thing it would do is probably give it a little bit more traction.
Yeah, it would better, because if you do a heavy broom finish, then it's rough.
yeah.
You're not gonna do it this fall yet anymore.
I kind of doubt it
I doubt
anymore.
it too.
That's the way it feels out there tonight.
Yeah.
I really don't know what Yellow Hill's schedule is.
I mean, the collaring costs more, and then they charge you like, $150 to clean up the truck after they deliver because of the collaring. So there's an extra charge there, but then it's like you say, your dad, apparently he thought it was worth it.
Yeah, any concrete he's poured is all been stamped.
Yeah.
And he loves it. He spends the money for it, and it does. It looks sharp.
You okay with at least quoting it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. I guess the other thing, as far as the park and rec, I understand they're got permission to move the oven, the brick oven.
No, I hadn't heard. I wasn't sure yet. I know, I think it was Wanda was supposed to talk to.
I guess Pete Martin told me the Bowmansville Days committee said they're okay with you moving it.
Okay, the last night,
Yeah.
before he was gone, I hadn't heard.
Is that what they're thinking, moving it instead of just getting rid of it?
Yeah, Wanda wants it.
Well, they're gonna check into moving it, and see if
Yeah.
that's feasible, to move it over to the farmhouse. Okay, next we have old business, the Act 537 plan update. I don't think there's a lot that's happened since then.
No.
It should be coming close to completion.
Yeah, I think they were just working on maps since,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's nothing to update at this point. Under new business, we have a proposed petition presented to the supervisors that a group has requested the township would look at the zoning ordinance in regards to campgrounds. Now, I don't want to discourage anyone from ideas and presenting ideas, although I would have preferred that if we were looking for methods to reduce the size of our zoning ordinance book and having less regulations instead of doubling them. Did you get a chance to look through Levi's notes on it? The question I had when I read it, I wonder if they really understand that making changes to the zoning ordinance as far as what campgrounds shall comply with, it wouldn't impact the existing ones that are grandfathered in.
They do know that.
So I really question what the motive is, and to go from approximately 12, 13, 14 items to 26. I really doubt, Art, we have 5 campgrounds. Do you think we're gonna have more?
Campgrounds,
Yeah.
I don't know where they would fit them in at.
They would just be expansions of the
And
existing.
even
More than likely,
expansions,
yeah.
even expansions wouldn't really change some of the things they're after. And some of this, I'm sure that this would go through the process. They're saying no party lights, string lights, light strings, and other similar lighting permitted on campsites. Well, every campground I know has string lights and lights to create regulations so that if any of them expand, they
My suggestion on this is I think they should have been here to present why.
They felt that it was just gonna be pushed to the planning commission, and then they would come to
Oh,
the
well.
planning commission and discuss it with
That's their
them.
idea.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I'll let you a chance to say. I think that, I'm not even sure that it's valid enough to take a full process. Maybe just recommend they present this to the planning commission and let the planning commission come back if they think this is something we ought to pursue.
Okay.
I mean, it's like an extra step in there, but
Yeah.
because
That makes sense.
I think right now, I don't really want to double the requirements for the campground. If we're not gonna have any, we may have some limited expansions,
Mhm.
but even them, they're probably going deeper and
I would think
it's
so.
not gonna change. I mean, they want swimming pools, instead of 200 feet from property lines, 300 feet. Well, I don't know if expansions are gonna have additional swimming pools. They want the ball fields and sport fields 300 feet from property lines. I don't know, I don't know, I just think to this thing got done through our planning commission, through the county's recommendation, it might be so much different that, is it really worthwhile? In fact, maybe, I don't see it valid enough as a standalone process. If we were in the process of changing something else, so let them go to the planning commission, express all their concerns. Let the planning commission advise us to whether or not we want to go through with the process or not.
I was surprised to see as many because in talking with some of the residents that live or own property near one of the campgrounds that was contemplating expansions, and Levi can back me up on this, most of their concerns was how close the expanded lots would be to their property. Not a lot of this stuff. Like, I didn't hear a lot. That was their main concern, correct? I mean, it was more or less, they wanted a buffer between campsites and their property.
But that's not in
Oh,
here.
well, yeah, there's some, but not a lot, yeah.
No party lights.
I know, which even an expansion, you can't have just the expanded,
For party lights.
yeah, so, yeah. I'm not sure what their thinking was to that. This is not what I expected them to give when Levi and I sort of gave them a little bit of, write down what you think,
Yeah.
and we thought it was more or less the buffer. I didn't realize that, so.
Who were the people that came up with this? Is there a group of them?
There is, and they own property along one of the campgrounds.
So they got together and met?
I
Come up with this?
think so. Maybe, or a few of them did and then had the rest signed. Yeah, that's my
I was
guess.
surprised at some of the addresses of the petitioners.
Yeah, there
Well,
might be
Some
some.
of them were pretty far
Let's
away.
express that we're very interested in hearing their concerns.
Okay.
And ask the planning commission to hear them out and see if this is something that we want to.
Okay. Dig into more. Yeah, okay.
Just looking at it on paper without their reasoning,
Yep.
it seems like it'd just be a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution, we have a proposed resolution for Lancaster County Drug Task Force, and basically this is piggybacking with the County Association of Township Supervisors that are asking the county to provide a sustainable method of supporting the drug task force. The county has been not been doing that when the task force went into effect, I think in '92 or something, it was kind of like a temporary method of funding, which approximately $100,000 came from the county, approximately $100,000 came from the state, and then they suggested townships would voluntarily commit $1 per capita, and the first couple of years, that contributed about $450,000 toward the drug task force. Some townships stopped giving as much, so that portion dropped down to about $375. There's been a shortfall in funding for the Lancaster County Drug Task Force. The county has promised to make up the difference, but they haven't delivered, and they ran out of money. The bottom line is right now, the county drug task force is out of money. This resolution is basically saying that asking the county to provide a sustainable model to fund it and not rely on the townships to contribute voluntarily $1 per capita. This was endorsed unanimously by the County Association of Township Supervisors, and we have the opportunity to show our support by also supporting it. So it's resolution number 11-4-19.
2019-14.
Okay. Was there two of them here?
No, that's the county's.
Okay, so our township is the resolution.
2019-14,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there any questions on this? I think what we were advised at the Lancaster County Township Supervisors meeting, we were advised to budget, if we possibly can, the $1 per capita, but then hold it and help leverage the county to fund their portion of it, and then we'll fund ours. And if they fail to fund their portion, then the township should use that as leverage to get the county to act. So is there a motion to approve resolution?
Make a motion to approve the resolution number 2019-14.
I second it.
Okay, the motion was made that we will approve that resolution. For a second, those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, you have an application for Barry Green to extend his salvage and recycling yard for another year. You have a recommendation from the zoning officer to extend that license for another year. Is there any questions for the zoning officer? If not, is there a motion to extend his license for 2020?
Make a motion that we extend his license for the Ream salvage for the year 2020.
Second.
Okay, we had the motion to grant the license through 2020. It was second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we have one item yet on our agenda. The proposed 2020 township budget. The action tonight would be to present it and advertise it for review and adoption at our November meeting.
December meeting.
Or December meeting, that's right, okay. I'll just summarize a little bit. Through 2019 marks the fourth consecutive year this board has kept its expenses within revenue. That's a record in 2000s. We've had to keep our eye on expenses. We had to push some non-critical projects off. This year, 2019, we had a lot of underground piping underneath roads that need to be replaced. You had about 10 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Roadmaster. We have a lot of galvanized piping that was used back in the 70s and 80s that are rusting out now and need to be replaced. Maintaining our roads for safe travel for both motorized and non-motorized travel is requiring increased funding and remains one of our top priorities. Our proposed budget for 2020 is pretty much a flatline budget through Township administration, highway, the road crew administration is pretty much the same. Legal services, engineering services, buildings, community donations are all pretty much flatline. But in order to replace the pipe underneath Good Road, which was estimated at $75,000, have reclaim Beam Road, we're looking at highway maintenance, winter maintenance, traffic control, storm sewer and drains, highway repairs, and stormwater management, an increase of 24% over last year. Last year we had budgeted approximately $612,000 for those items. The budget for 2020, $761,000 for an add of $148,000. So the total expenses in the budget for 2000 is 1.8 or 1.685. I'll round that off to 1.686. In order to provide revenue to balance the budget, we will see an increase in the earned income tax by approximately $77,000, even though, according to the county's projections, Brecknock had a shortfall of $48,000 in the earned income tax in 2019. The other, to balance the budget requires us to raise property and real estate tax by 0.15 mils, which is an average of $30 per property owner. That'll bring in another $91,000, and with the expected increase in earned income tax of $77,000, we can balance the budget and have approximately, $16,000 surplus projected. This still requires us to push some projects back. We still would not have anything budgeted for Silver Hill Road or 5 Pointville Road. I keep driving Horning Road and it's bump, 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 and it's like that road should be overlaid so it can be smooth instead of, we're still trying to play catch up on our roads. Barb, you did a good job of Band-Aid and making it work. But one year you did a lot of overlaid. We haven't done much overlaid since. We need to get back into doing more overlay, but that requires funds.
You're never gonna catch up on your road work. There's always something.
Yeah, there will be.
Never ends.
Yeah. So the increase of 0.15 mils is less than the school district did at 1.85. And we're no longer an agricultural community. We're more of a bedroom community. Our expenses, our road expenses continue to climb, and we're trying to do everything we can. We'll make sure that any revenue from increased taxes are going into the roads. So that is being proposed at this time. It's not being approved tonight. It's simply being proposed and be advertised if the board chooses. And then we can take questions next month. Board, any comments or questions? Like I say, it's pretty much, I have 2008 or 19's proposed budget and I have 2020's proposed budget. And like I say, it's pretty much, except for the highway maintenance, the winter maintenance, the traffic, the storm, sewer and drains, and the highway repairs, it's pretty much the same as last year with, like I say, the exception of $148,000 being proposed increase on road expenses. So is there a motion to advertise this?
I make a motion that we advertise the proposed budget for 2020 as presented.
Second.
Okay, the motion was made to advertise our proposed budget, was seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now, Art, you wanted to say something?
Just a couple things.
Okay.
The park, you can remind your wife that I'm only coming to one more meeting. Well, I'll stop in once in a while. Jerry's doing a terrific job. Does his research, what it takes. That date board up on the building. There's a date board.
On the farmhouse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The date board.
Yeah.
Right.
That should be taken off, put in glass, like the fire company did with their bell. And then another one made and put up there. That should be reserved. It's from the 1700s, and it's, you can still see it, but it's deteriorating fast, over the years. So, that's something the park and rec board should look to doing. Now, when it comes to the roller mill, I thought the roller mill was supposed to be open a couple times a year and functional.
4 times a year for not less than 4 hours per time.
And was it open 4 times this past
First
year?
in October,
Yeah. Oh, it's just 4 days or 4 different?
4 times. Well, I'd have to go back and look at the easement, but I think it says 4 days per year open to the public and operating 4 days per year, not less than 5 hours per.
Will there be more advertising in the future, or?
The difficulty with having a lot of people there is there's no place to park.
Well, boy, I mean, Mr. Keene went through all that labor, time, money to set that up. And what a shame to have it sit and not be able to enjoy it, to see what took place in that time period.
What do you propose?
Well, we should have went through, you were part of it, we should have went through with the rezoning of the piece of land with Mr. Bill Sprecher. So we could have put a road in and around and on. We could have had the parking and everything, but no.
Where would you propose to do parking?
Along that road.
Excuse me?
Along that road.
But you, when the land development plan went through, it was your opposition to that parking, you said you could not park on that road.
We have 25-foot right-of-way on the right side of that. We did at that point. We'd have got 25 foot off from Mr. Sprecher. There would have been plenty. You know.
You want to go back and look at the minutes?
No, look, there's been mistakes made from the past that came from certain people that have changed the outlook of this township, and it's gonna be a problem for many years. So, now, Mr. Spees, I've sat here now all these years, I only have one more meeting. I am really curious why you have to video this board. Are you trying to catch us, intimidate us? Are you trying to be a future movie producer for Hollywood? I don't understand.
Not at all. I mean, it's basically an opportunity for the township to see what goes on in the meetings, that's all.
And what has the township gained from this?
I don't know. They get knowledge about what the township's doing.
And who's got the knowledge and what has it changed?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I do get comments, people are happy to be able to see the meeting.
Yeah, and I get comments, people are laughing their ass off.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't seen that kind of a comment.
But, you know,
And there's about, when it's on YouTube, there's maybe 40 to 50 people that look at the video.
yeah, but there's more than 40 or 50 people in this township, sir.
I understand that.
But if you're trying to intimidate the board,
Nobody's trying to intimidate the board, but here's a meeting with 5 people.
that's okay. I'd rather see the people come here and see the meeting
Well, I would
rather
like
than look at it on
them to-
video,
I would like them to come here also.
you know. Okay, I'm done.
I see they painted the mill, it looks nice. That took some effort and time. And I guess just to update you, Dottie Jamison, the assistant will be, her last day will be November 27th. And so the township has hired a replacement. Her name is
Christie?
Christie. I'm just relaying. And she already started, so the township has positioned itself to seamlessly absorb that as Dottie goes into retirement. So if you get a chance to stop by, say hello to the new assistant. We're looking forward to her providing some
Things are going really good.
additional
Yep.
helping with workload. I think it'll be fine. So that's an update on that. So if you're coming in looking for Dottie, she will not be here much longer.
One comment.
Go ahead.
I have one more meeting. I'm in much the same shoes as Levi. It's going on 30 years since I first got involved. Would I do it again? Yes, I would have to say I would. It's been a challenge. I'm so thankful you're here, Dave's here, and Andy's coming on board. And the biggest thing was always to keep in mind our people, their safety, their health. And if I wouldn't have got involved in this, well, this changed my whole lifestyle completely. I was used to spending the summers on a 53,000-acre ranch in Colorado, running the ranch, the cow-calf operation. This took me away from all of that. This took me away from the plantation owners where I used to spend the time down in Arkansas in the South. But I'm hoping in one small way I helped in the last, it's going on 30 years. And I thank you for your time too. It's a commitment. You know, people, they come and they want to pick on little things. Well, I want to see them do it once. You ain't gonna put in the time to do it. This is something you do for the people, not for yourself. And no party. You know how I feel about parties.
I
No
already
way.
squashed it, don't worry.
No way. I'm not here for the honor.
Control what other people do.
I'm not here for the honor or the glory. It had to be done. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to commit the time, you know. And I'm so thankful for you that do. And I'm thankful for those that come to the meetings on a regular basis.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, the reason you have that camera, because you want, they put your smiling face for the archives.
In the archive, no, I don't need that. No.
What does Rush say?
Yeah, well.
Canned in the archives.
Yeah.
For future generations.
Hey, this township came a long way. Yeah. A lot of people may not realize it, but I'll tell you what, 60 years ago, I remember going from farm to farm, picking up cattle, hauling them. We were either at New Holland, Mondays, or Leesport, or Fredericksburg, or Vintage, or Green Dragon, or the Lancaster Stockyards. We trucked cattle everywhere. And there was no developments. I can't imagine what this township's gonna look like in another 50 years. And you think this is an agriculture area? To a lot of people, an agricultural area, yes. To me, no. Agricultural area, it's like next week I'm going to Illinois. And one farmer has 4,000 acres, the other one 3,000. That's agriculture. These 20-acre lot here doesn't, we can live without them, you know. But the whole thing's changing. And the tax issues is gonna get worse as more people. It's gonna be hard to work. And just hope today you don't end up like these towns and cities that are they're in the hole. They can't get out. And at least with the taxes, I'm gonna stop here. From my understanding, the school raises taxes to pay pensions. At least we're not raising taxes to pay pensions like the school, and it gets worse with them. So, well, thank you for your time.
I won't say anything because I'll steal my thunder for next month.
Well said, Art.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But hey, you should have became a supervisor. That'd have gave you something to do in your spare time. Yeah.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn at, I can't see that.
8:15.
8:15.
We have a motion to adjourn. Second?
Yes.
Okay, the motion is
Yes.
second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Yeah.
Thank you.